This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's newsletter, Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter for March 1, 2025, which will be available on March 3, 2025. Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter, Volume 25, Number 5, is the source for the insurance fraud professional. You can subscribe to the email version of Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter. It's free. Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter, or ZIFL, continues its 29th year of publication dedicated to those involved in reducing the effect of insurance fraud. ZIFL is published 24 times a year by Claim School Incorporated and is written by me. It is provided free to anyone who visits the site at the link provided in this blog. You could read the full issue of the March 1, 2025 issue at the link provided. This issue contains the following articles about insurance fraud. First is a listing of auto fraud schemes, starting with the Swoop and Squat. The Swoop and Squat auto insurance fraud is a deliberate attempt by a driver to claim auto insurance payouts by setting up an accident on the roads. These accidents usually involve an unsuspecting victim rear-ending the criminal with at least an accomplice helping him. In a Swoop and Squat auto insurance fraud, at least 2 people are involved. These 2 conspirators will scout the streets with their vehicles for the preferred target, and usually a high-value auto or commercial vehicle will, more likely than not, be insured and becomes the victim of the crime. Other auto insurance fraud schemes are listed in detail at the link provided in the blog. Next is a warning from the California Department of Insurance about tow truck scams that seem to be proliferating throughout the state of California. The public service announcement was a warning for California drivers about an increase in scams involving tow truck companies, targeting car accident victims where vehicles are being held hostage for cash. The scam has become prevalent in Southern California, and the state has created a video to show you how the warning occurs. You can read the full article and view the video at the link provided in the blog. Then there is our listing of health insurance fraud convictions, where the Department of Justice of the United States government have been putting away health insurance fraud perpetrators, including a man convicted and sentenced after trial for submitting false Massachusetts health claims for autism behavioral health treatment. After 5 days of trial, the defendant was found guilty of stealing more than $33,000 in Mass Health funds. Donald Martell, age 69, of Georgetown, Massachusetts, was convicted after a 5-day trial for fraudulently billing Mass Health, the state's Medicaid program, for applied behavioral analysis services that were never provided. Martell was sentenced to 3 years probation in order to pay a full restitution, stay away from and have no contact with witnesses, and refrain from all work, billing, and responsibilities with Mass Health members. You can read the full article and the full issue of ZIFL at the link. The next article deals with more elements of the problems created by the McClenny, Mosley and Associates firm, this being Ziffel's 42nd installment of the saga of McClenny, Mosley and Associates and its problems with the federal courts in the state of Louisiana, and what appears to be an effort to profit from what some magistrate and district judges indicate may be criminal conduct to profit from insurance claims relating to hurricane damage to the public of the state of Louisiana. In a lawsuit entitled MMA Law Firm versus PCG Claims LLC, the Court of Appeals of Texas, First District in Houston, on December 31, 2024, found that a law firm called filed a suggestion of bankruptcy, informing the court that the appellant MMA had filed a petition for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in case number 24-31596 in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Texas. You can read the full article in detail about this lawsuit at the link provided. Next is a short article about the Compact Book of Adjusting Property Claims, 4th edition, which is now available in Kindle, paperback, and hardback formats at the links provided in the article. You can read the full article at the link provided in the blog. Next, there's the convictions of other than health insurance fraud across the United States, starting with an article about 2 Washington state residents guilty of insurance fraud. Jason Weisfield of Federal Way, Washington, and Feda Shakir pleaded guilty to submitting false insurance claims. A carpet cleaning claim and a fake theft of a Hyundai led to guilty pleas for the 2 people for insurance fraud in Washington. Weisfield filed a false insurance claim relating to a carpet cleaning incident that resulted in an investigation by the Washington State Insurance Commissioner's Investigations Unit, which resulted in the conviction. Next is an article about my newest book, Deterring Insurance Fraud, a new book on insurance fraud and how the DOJ deters and defeats insurance fraud that seems to be epidemic in the United States. Insurance fraud continually takes more money each year than it did the last from the insurance buying public and from governmental entities that act as insurers. There is no certain number. No one knows the amount that is taken by insurance fraud because most attempts at insurance fraud succeed. Estimates of the extent of insurance fraud in the United States range from $308 billion a year to $500,000 or more. The book is now available as a Kindle book, a paperback, and a hardcover. Then there's an article on red flags of fraud. Suspicious claims have common attributes. Insurers and their anti-fraud organizations have collated the common attributes into lists of indicators or red flags of fraud. The lists were created as training aids and to be used to help determine whether further investigation is required to determine if a claim is legitimate or false and fraudulent. Continually growing, these lists are known as the red flags or indicators of fraud lists. There are many different categories ranging from those associated with the claim itself or with insureds to indicators of specific types of fraud, such as bodily injury fraud or arson for profit. You can read the full article in the full issue of Ziffel at the link provided. Thank you for your attention.